Hello everybody, I will be showing how to find the derivative of tan x by first principle. So according to the first principle, what does it mean? First principle, it means that limitation of h tends to 0, f of x plus h minus f of x divided by h. How to find this value? Means instead of f of x we would put tan x and we would find its derivative. Limitation of h tends to 0, we would put f of x as tan x. So it's like a tan x plus h minus tan of x divided by h. Okay, now after this we would be we know that we don't have a particular formula of tan x minus y. That's why we would be substituting tan x by sin x by cos x. We know that here we will write tan x is equal to sin x by cos of x. Okay, now we would substitute limitation of h tends to 0. Sin x means tan x, we would substitute sin x plus h divided by cos of x plus h minus sin of x divided by cos of x divided by h. Okay, now we would just find the LCM of the both and means we will make the denominator common. So that's why sin of x plus h into it would become into cos of x minus sin of x into cos of x plus h. Okay, now we see that here sin a cos b minus cos a sin b. So we know that we are having a formula. We are having, first I would write this thing. Now we know that we are having a formula that sin a cos b minus cos a sin b is equal to sin a minus b, right? So we would write it. So first I would write here that we know that sin a minus b is equal to sin a cos b minus cos a and sin of b. Okay, now I would substitute the values. It would become limitation of h tends to 0 sin of a minus b. Okay, now by h into cos of x plus h into cos of x. Okay, now we know that if we substitute h in the denominator it would not harm anything because it would become cos square x and h would become 0. So that's why now we would just simplify and we need not to do anything more. It would become sin of h divided by h into cos of x plus h into cos of x. Okay, now we know that if limitation of x tends to 0 and sin x by x, then it is 1. We know that this would become 1. Okay, now we would write limitation of h tends to 0. This would become 1 into 1 by cos of x plus h into cos of x. Okay, now substituting the value of h by 0, it would become by putting h is equal to 0 in this, it would become 1 by cos of x into cos of x. Okay, this would become 1 by cos square x, and we know that 1 by cos x, we know that 1 by cos of x is equal to sec x. So the derivative of tan x by first principle would become, this would become sec square x. So that is our answer, the derivative of tan x by first principle. Thank you.